All we really know about Switch 2 at this time is that it's going to release sometime in 2025. But outside of that, we don't really know of anything else about the console. We don't know about the games, we don't know the release date, and that seems to be the case until the April 2nd, 2025 Nintendo Direct that's going to be focused on the console. While we wait for this Direct though, I figured why not make some early predictions and try to predict the first year of Nintendo Switch 2. I'm the biggest noob on YouTube, Christendo, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel, that helps me out a ton, and you can help me get one step closer to my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. While you're at it, if you want to talk to me and others about all things Nintendo, consider joining the Chris Discord server. The link is down in the description. With that being said, here's my prediction for year 1 of Nintendo Switch 2. Before we get into my predictions, let's go over the guidelines I'll be using in this video. Firstly, I'll only really be covering first-party games as I don't have much experience outside of those first-party IPs, but if there's any notable third-party games I believe could release, I'll mention them as well. I also won't be talking about small eShop games, as when it comes to those, Nintendo could literally do anything. This video won't also just be 2025. I'll be covering the full first 12 months of the console, meaning I'll cover from the release month this year to the month before next year. An example of this could be September 2025 to August 2026. And as always, these are just my predictions. If you agree or disagree with me, please let me know, and feel free to tell me what your predictions and wishes are as well. With that established, let's get into the predictions. Starting us out, we got the launch month of Switch 2 being May 2025, and more specifically on May 23rd. I know that during this, Nintendo will still be doing hands-on events in Asia, but I don't think that this means that the console can't launch until these are finished. The console could release while these are still happening, and these events could act as a way to push people who go to those and enjoy the console to go buy the console right after. As for launch titles, firstly we got Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I feel like this game will act like Breath of the Wild was for Switch, where it will release on both Switch and Switch 2. The Switch 2 version, however, will easily be the best version of the game, as it'll have much better graphics, better frame rates, and possibly an exclusive control method with being able to use the Joy-Con as a mouse for better aiming. At launch, this would act as the big single-player campaign. Up next, we got Mario Kart. Whether it's Mario Kart 9, Mario Kart X, or something different, I feel this has to be a launch title. It was the first and only Switch 2 game to be shown off so far, so it's safe to assume that this will act as the casual party game at launch. And for a third-party release, we got Final Fantasy VII Remake. I personally don't know much about this one, but I think it's safe to say that Final Fantasy VII Remake will be on Switch 2. I feel this would be good at launch, as it'd offer a massive current-gen RPG for those who buy the console, as well as be able to show off how powerful the Switch 2 really is. Shortly after, we move into June, and this month I feel we'll house a Nintendo Direct to give us more information on games I'll be talking about later on in the video. Moving into this month's games, I believe that there will be 2 big games, being a first-party and third-party game. For the first-party game, I believe this will be a new IP. I feel that a month after the console's launch would be a good time to release a new IP, and it seems like Nintendo likes making at least one new IP every generation. Whether it's something casual like Nintendo Land, or more competitive like Nintendo wanted ARMS to be, I feel June will be a good time for Nintendo to release something like this. As for the third-party game, I believe this will be Elden Ring. This would be another massive third-party game. Much like Final Fantasy VII Remake, this will help showcase the Switch 2 is powerful enough to play current generation games with little to no compromise, as well as give a great way to play this game on the go. Moving into July 2025, I feel this month will be a bit smaller and have not much going on. There will still be a couple games, however, with us getting Kid Icarus Uprising, the first remake for Switch 2, and a heavily requested game. This game would greatly benefit from having better graphics on Switch 2, as it already looks great for the 3DS, and it could take advantage of the ability to use the Joy-Con as a mouse, as well as provide for a traditional way to control the game for those who want that. Another game I could see releasing this month is Tekken 8, and this is another current gen game I believe could come to Switch 2. Bandai Namco gets along well with Nintendo, so I could see this easily coming to Switch 2 because of this, and this could act as a huge fighting game for the platform. Moving into August 2025, this will mostly be a month dedicated to huge third-party support. Starting off, we got Doom the Dark Ages. This would be the first current gen game to release day and day on Nintendo Switch 2 as well as other platforms. This game will be releasing on Xbox Series X first before releasing on other platforms, but I can see this releasing on PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch 2 on the same day, and I'm predicting it will be sometime in August. We also got Red Dead Redemption 2. This is a long overdue game to come to a Nintendo platform, and now it finally can thanks to Nintendo Switch 2 being powerful enough to play this game. While this game has been out for many years, I think it will still do well on Nintendo Switch 2 thanks to this being a version of the game you can play on the go. And for the last big third-party game this month, we got Madden 2026. There isn't really much to say about it because it is just a Madden game, but this series returning to a Nintendo system would be huge regardless. Going into September 2025, once again this will be a slower month, focusing on promoting the Switch 2's big holiday games, as well as having a Nintendo Direct going into games releasing in 2026. This doesn't mean we won't get games, however, as we have Call of Duty 2025, which just like Madden is a yearly release, but seeing a COD game releasing on Switch 2 would be huge regardless. We also have Halo the Master Chief Collection. There's been rumors that this game will be coming to Switch 2, and whether or not this is true, I could see Microsoft releasing some of their big IPs on other platforms, including Halo. I feel if this were to happen, September would be a good time for this to release. In October 2025, this month will definitely be quality over quantity with releases, as we have a brand new 3D Mario, and I feel this will act as the big holiday game for the first year of Nintendo Switch 2. I already made a video talking about Mario's 40th anniversary where I talk about this game a bit, so if you want to see more in detail what I think it would look like, check that out, but in short, I feel this will be an open world Mario game. Moving into November 2025, we got Pokemon Legends ZA. I see this being another cross-generation release between Switch and Switch 2, like my Metroid Prime 4 was, but especially with the track record of Pokemon Switch games, this will definitely be the better version of the game. Pokemon likes to release games in November, so because of that, Legends ZA will probably release this month. And for the final month of 2025, December, I don't see there being any games I'll release this month. But there is the Game Awards, so here's a couple super early predictions, cause why not? I think that Mario Kart will be nominated for Best Multiplayer, Best Sports Racing Game, and Best Family, and I see it winning Best Sports and Racing as well as Best Multiplayer. I feel that 3D Mario will be nominated for Best Family and Best Score in Music, and despite it being a single player game, I see it winning the Best Family category. I see Metroid Prime 4 and the 3D Mario being nominated for Best Action Adventure Game, and as much as I would love to see Metroid Prime 4 get this award, I think 3D Mario wins the category. Metroid Prime 4 Mario Kart will be nominated for Best Art Direction, but unfortunately, I don't think either of these are gonna win. Metroid Prime 4 and 3D Mario will be nominated for Best Game Direction, and honestly, I could see either of them winning this category. As for Game of the Year, I could see Metroid Prime 4 and 3D Mario being nominated, but they'll either lose to GTA 6 if it actually releases this year, and if it doesn't, Elden Ring Night Rain because the Game Awards loves Elden Ring. After sleeping through the Game Awards, we could wake up in January 2026 to, hear me out, a new 2D Donkey Kong. I know everyone wants a new 3D Donkey Kong, and I could see this coming later into the Switch 2's life. In the meantime, Nintendo might as well finish up the current trilogy of games with a new Donkey Kong that follows Returns and Tropical Freeze, as this not only gives the Switch 2 a new Donkey Kong game, but also a new first-party 2D platformer. As for a third-party release, we have Starfield. Honestly, I don't know anything about this game, but apparently it's one of those Xbox Series X games that are rumored to come to Switch 2, so why not have it released in January? Moving into February 2026, we have another Nintendo Direct, where Nintendo will reveal some summer 2026 games, as well as a few games that will release later on. As for games this month, we have Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War. This game has been rumored for Switch 2 for many years now, so at this point they might as well release it for Switch 2. This would be a remake for the game of the same name that was released on the Super Famicom, and as far as I'm aware, this has never left Japan, so it would offer a new experience for many Fire Emblem fans, as well as provide a first-party RPG for the Switch 2. And just like every other February, we get another Pokemon Presents for Pokemon Day 2026, and this is where the first Switch 2 exclusive Pokemon game will be announced. March 2026 is kind of a late month with a new 3D Kirby, as by this point, it would have been 4 years since the last Kirby game, so a brand new 3D Kirby game this month honestly makes a lot of sense. All I hope for this is that it follows the same formula as Forgotten Land, as I really enjoyed that game. And for the final month we'll be covering in this video, April 2026, we get a brand new Star Fox as a first-party release. Nintendo might as well revive old franchises early on in the Switch 2's life, so why not revive Star Fox? I hope this one would take a mixture of the traditional Star Fox gameplay where you fly your ships on different planets, as well as take some elements from Star Fox Assault where you could traverse these planets on foot, and this could help the Star Fox series feel fresh instead of this new game just feeling like another Star Fox 64. And for my final game prediction for this video, I get a completely wild prediction here, but screw it, GTA 6 will release for Nintendo Switch 2. This would be released a bit later than other platformers, but it'll still be a great way to play the game, but also sacrifice a bit of graphic quality for portability. Hopefully if this does happen, it won't be a huge downgrade like a lot of third-party games were on the OG Switch. And that's my prediction for the first year of Nintendo Switch 2. Are you mad I didn't predict Super Mario Galaxy 3 and hate me for that? Let me know down in the comments, and while you're at it, tell me what games you want to see for Switch 2 in the first year. Now I guess the real question is, do I think these are actually going to happen? Well, as much of a flex as it would be to say I'm completely right by this, I don't think I'm 100% in my prediction. But I think it's always a fun time to predict Nintendo games, so I figured why not make this video before we get any more information on Nintendo Switch 2. With that said though, that's it for this one, but if you want to see another video by me, there's a video on screen now where I predict the character roster of Mario Kart on Nintendo Switch 2, and I think you'll enjoy it. With that being said, I'm the biggest nub on YouTube, Cristendo, signing off, and goodbye, Nub Nation.